What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades, and last time we just barely snuck by with a victory. This time round, what we are doing is we are going to be using a new aspect on the rail, the aspect of Hestia. After reloading, shoot an empowered shot for 50 base damage. I believe usually without this aspect it is just 15 base damage, so it's significantly higher, but it does mean that we'll need to manually reload. We also have Dark Thirst on the rail conveniently, and I did throw on the Aphrodite keepsake in hopes of getting probably an attack boon out of her for what should be one of, if not the highest attack damage boosts from her boon there. So fingers crossed that we get something good here. Also think we want to be a little bit more aggressive with giving out the nectars, because we've stockpiled a fair amount of those, but haven't been giving them out too much recently.
My lady Aphrodite, if not for our acquaintance, I'm certain that my days or nights would be much drearier indeed.
No.
My dearest, such a wonderfully thoughtful gift for me. I love it, and I would be lying if I said you shouldn't have.
Oh. Thanks, Aphrodite. Okay, as for the actual boon itself, though...
Sometimes our hearts become so full that they could burst. If only you could see how much I care. I would do anything to aid you in your plight. My heartfelt blessings be with you, dearest.
Thank you, Aphrodite. See what you have for us.
The goods.
Lots of very high rarity options here. Let me just double check. Aspect of Hestia, yeah, is only on the attack that we get the increased damage boost here. So we really wanted a high rarity attack boon here. We did get high rarity, we did not get attack, so that is rather unfortunate. Trying to think of what the best alternative would be here. Maybe the special? We do have a pretty nice special on the rail, I am a fan of it. So I suppose we can go for that. And we did also go with, you'll see these enemies here have shield. So we do have one heat on at the moment, and it is the one that gives those enemies those blue health bars where they basically just don't take damage the first time we hit them. That's the same thing we did in our previous run. Not to make a point of doing more to trigger our special aspect, the increased damage. I think it's mostly going to be useful for maximizing our damage. Is there a spawn here? There is, isn't there? Yes, absolutely. There are far too many numbskulls for this to be coincidence. I did get hit there. Excuse me? Wow, okay. Probably the longest first room ever. But yeah, I think the aspect is likely to be most effective against one particularly strong enemy.
Shortly. There we go.
And then again, if they have shields on, then it's definitely not going to do any damage at all. There we go. We have time in between enemies like this. It's far easier. Once again. Let's hit him first, then reload, then hit you with the big shot there. Yeah, you still have the shield. Or, you know, we could manually reload and then throw him a cast or something like that to remove the shield. That might be a good way to set it up.
No use.
Oh, I meant to take the darkness, not go into the chaos room, although we probably will want to do that. That is freaky. Let's see what the alternatives are. We could go Poseidon or Ares. I'm not super thrilled about either of them. Ares is another one that can be good for big, slow attacks, so maybe that's an okay option this go-round, but Chaos, I think, definitely is the right idea here. Okay, so we are probably hoping for something that will boost our attack damage. Let's also gift a Nectar to Chaos.
Master Chaos, I pledge never to forget you or your good graces. May your wisdom and your whim forever guide me.
Is this an offering of fealty or friendship, son of Hades? And I do not wish to know from you the answer, so that I might dwell on it and all the possibilities.
Chaos is like, hold on. If I don't get an answer, then that would be more chaotic. Alright, and let's actually get the boon itself.
Enjoy a moment's peace within my space before venturing on in uncertainty. To my surprise, I must admit, I do appreciate company.
Oh, look at that. We're on Chaos's good side. That's probably a good thing. Okay, so we can face more foes, but afterward gain maximum life. That is a lot of life. We can take increased damage, but afterward we deal a ton of extra damage, hitting foes from behind. Or it takes longer for us to get our bloodstones back, but afterward our dash strike deals extra damage. Trying to think which one of these would be easiest to trigger when we are using this aspect on our weapon with the empowered shot when we manually reload. Because this certainly doesn't do anything with it. This could work, as could this. I feel like it might be easier to attack from behind than it is to do dash strikes with the manual reload. Maybe not, either way. maybe it's more so a question of which one we prefer, taking more damage or not being able to pick up bloodstones for longer. Maybe we go, well, this one has higher damage. Let's go with this. Either way, I think you certainly could have justified it. Let's go with the darkness now. We do have Dark Thirst. And we took a little bit of damage in one of the previous rooms, I think. What? What? Where should you come from? I did not see you. It really just looked like you rained down from the sky and hit us. I was very confused. Okay, well, so we certainly took more damage in the process there. And let's not get hit this time around. Okay, so we don't have the extra backstab damage yet. I mean, normally you would start with some anyway. That still exists. We do still have the additional damage from the manual reload, but it will get much better later on. And wow, yeah, we actually took a lot of damage there. Okay, let's see. Anything else in here? No, hammer upgrade could be big. Could be very big. Alright, so I manually reloaded, so let's start off with a cast fed. And then hit you with this stuff. Try to take you out. Oh, a wall. Okay. Ready your shield. Then we hit you with some of this. Didn't really need that. Yeah, and I think we can actually do the reload when we are dashing, which is convenient. Technically an animation cancel, maybe. Maybe that's a little bit of a strong way to describe it. Enough to take you out. Ran out of bloodstones. That was that the downside we ultimately went for? Oh no, we went back and forth, right? Okay, you're down. Throw these at you. Maybe we throw a special at you, and there we go. Okay. So, it's a little bit difficult to make this happen with the manual reload, because it is quite slow. With foes targeted by your special, move slower and take additional damage. Okay. Your attack deals damage in an area and briefly slows. That seems like that could work. Your attack deals 40 base damage in a short spread. You have less rounds. That could work well, because we are going to be manually reloading a lot. That'll be further incentive for us to just do it ourselves and not wait for us to run to the end of the clip. Though the base damage, I'm assuming, with 40 base damage, that just means basically the attacks that we don't manually reload for will be almost as good as the aspect of Hestia. I don't think these really synergize as much as when we aren't manually reloading, we are getting almost the same effect, just not quite as much. So I think this might actually be better. Let's see. Oh, and it looks cool. So, if nothing else, there's that. And I do think we picked up an additional ability to re-roll a room. We wanted to do that. Oh, this will help a lot with getting rid of the shields that people have as well. So I think that's going to be useful too. I dashed into that and deserved to get damage, but I don't think we did actually. For some reason. Where are you? Here can get rid of Numbskull as well. We can. That works pretty well, I think. Okay. And there, the Chaos Boon has evolved. So that means it was the attack from behind. Is that what we ultimately went with? Yeah. That's a lot of damage there. So if we get all of our stars to align, attack from behind, manually reload, then we should be able to do a lot of damage here. Do we want Zeus? That could be a way to deal damage to more people, although we did just pick up the hammer upgrade that does some of that. What I'm wondering is, with our explosive shots there, will it chain from just the initial enemy we hit, or will it chain from all the enemies we hit with our area of effect? If it does chain from everyone we hit, then this could hit much of the screen. If it only chains from the initial target, then it might not do us much good from what we're already getting from our hammer upgrade. It might just overlap a bit. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot here. It is a mini-boss. It is the tough one. Oh, I tried to throw cast at you. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I missed on the manual reload shot. Remember, we do have the additional damage when we hit you from behind. It'd be great to hit you at all, really. There we go. Backstab. What we would love to have. I think we can make it happen. I'm waiting for you to come. Oh, closer. Like this. Can I do that? Thought I did a manual reload, but maybe not. There we go. Okay, let's just shoot him down now. Don't focus too much on maximizing damage. A couple more hits to do it. There we go. Okay.
See you next time, I'm sure.
And I think... How many nectars do we have? We have 12, so let's just give to basically everyone we run into at the beginning here.
I thank you, my lord Uncle Zeus, for your benevolence and your thunderous might.
Also, please give us a nice food.
Honor me, young man, as well you should, for I am ruler of Olympus, am I not? Such courtesies are shown me constantly, yet I appreciate them all.
Totally not self-important and egotistical. But hey, it helped us get a nice boon here, then maybe it's worthwhile.
Only rail of adamant in your possession there. To strike one's enemies from afar is really the only way, I think, and it's about as good a substitute for lightning bolts as you're likely to find.
Okay, I suppose so. We could substitute for an epic special. I think special is still not really what we're looking for here, though. I think cast would be nice. We're still really looking for an attack boon, though I'm not necessarily sure. Like we were saying, Zeus maybe is a good one for it. Maybe it isn't. Not entirely sure. That is a lot of revenge damage, too. But let's pick up a cast, because that's something that is more a staple of our runs here. So you can get Darkness. That help us heal a bit. Wow, yeah. I would say this is probably better, getting the Nectar, and I think that is a Super Nectar, so we'll upgrade one of our existing boons. But at the same time, we arguably need all the life we can get at this point. Oh, okay. And it's one of these boons, huh?
To introduce some of my loyal subjects.
Alright. Bring on the loyal subjects, then. Oh, and yes, I already think that this cast is going to do us some favors. And if you guys stand right next to each other, that is helpful too. Get the footstones back. And you got lots of ranged people here. So many of the stones. Hey, yeah. I mean, that's actually a kind of a nasty combo. Combining them with the numbskulls, because the numbskulls will chase us down, right? The brimstones, they can snipe us from afar. This was not exactly the best room we've ever had.
Decidedly below my expectations.
Yeah, mine too, I'd say. Only got a little bit of life back there. I mean, I think we still on net gained a little bit of life going into this room, but not much. Ovals, we're at 191. I mean, normally I would say save up some of your re-rolls later on in the run when you absolutely need one thing in particular. I suppose this is fine to just go through the ovals here. But since we picked up more re-rolls, it seems like maybe we can be a little bit more aggressive. I actually into that and deserve to get it, or not that we actually did. Okay, let's throw that, get rid of the shield. And not get hit by that. I thought ZAGREUS said run, not ready. It's like, whoa, that's aggressive. Okay, let's get rid of you. I don't really like when you guys are hanging out. Take a second to manually reload. Have that blow up on you. That somehow dealt enough. Come on, get back here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so definitely doing fine from an oval standpoint now. What do we have here? Okay, some big guys have eaten up all of the bloodstones, unfortunately. Should try to eat from behind, because we can certainly do that against you pretty easily. We get a pretty big damage boost when we do that. Ooh, except bad time to reload. There too. Probably just use the cast though to take you out. Where did our other bloodstones go? Where are they? Hanging out over here? How'd that happen? Oh man, caught your attention. One moment, please. There we go. Does it count with the backstab when it explodes? When we have the area of effect? Is that also triggered? Did not actually manage to get behind you there. There we go. Okay. Not too bad. We can, fortunately, keep our distance pretty effectively with the rail. That helps us stay out of harm's way fairly often. We have a shop. With 330 ovals, we could do a lot there. We also have Sisyphus, and I mean, Sisyphus is, of the various special rooms, definitely the weakest, but would still be worthwhile here because if we don't go shop now, we can save up these obols and just, again, go aggressively in a future shop. So we'll save instead of spending right now.
Hey, sir.
What's up, Sisyphus? Let's give you some nectar, too.
Oh my, you're really giving that to me there, Prince? But I'm just... Why would you...
Come on,
You
Sisyphus.
better believe it, sir. Now you take care. Be seeing you around.
Yeah, he's been a bro to us for sure.
Sisyphus, I've meant to ask. Where are you getting all this stuff you give to me? You must be pretty
That is a
well connected
good
around
question.
here.
How the heck are you getting all that? The obols, the darkness, the life?
Oh, well, you know, I have acquaintances amongst the locals here. Try to be neighbourly with everyone is all. It's not just Baldy and myself, as you can see. Sometimes I come across things that would be better off in other hands than mine.
Alright. Still not entirely sure how that's working out for you, but I guess we won't ask too many questions. In many ways, we could use some healing here. We are on less than half HP, and we're a reasonable way through Tartarus. I'd like to believe that we aren't at risk of having to use Death Defiance in Tartarus, but it might be necessary. Darkness would give us a little bit of healing. We have the Dark Thirst, so we get a little bit of a bonus here. Probably would not get us up to full HP, but it's a little bit of a middle ground, and then the obols would be a way to save up even more for the future. So normally I'd say obols might be the best here, but I think it's between healing and darkness, just a matter of how much life do we think we need. So if we're feeling clever and confident, then we could probably go with darkness. Let's give it a shot. How much is it? It's 72. Okay, actually, that'll get us quite a bit of life. That absolutely paid off. And what if we tried talking to Boldy here?
So, there's something you like to do for entertainment out here, Baldy? Or just, I don't know, take it all in, I guess?
Something like that? Riveting. Come on, Boldy.
What's the latest, Baldy? Had any good tumbles down that hill of late?
I mean, on one hand, it'd be nice, you know, have a little fun with it, but at the same time, you tumbling down the hill does mean more work for Sisyphus, so, not sure if that's really a good thing after all.
Okay.
I think Baldy's warming up to you.
I think so too. Ooh, Palm is another one that's probably not great for us, especially when we don't have too many things here that look all that great for us. Heart of Stone. You believe in Boldy, and Boldy believes in you. Move speed bonus 7%. We're speedier. I'll be honest, it's hard to tell with just 7%, but maybe, on some occasion,
You can get here this
we'll be able to dodge out of the way of something because of that 7% movement speed. Speaking of speed, you are fast. We should have spent that time. Whoa. The dash seemed like it took us halfway across the world there. Was it just that we happened to get it all the way over there? Yeah, I guess so. We maximized the distance. Let's manually reload. Try to get to the other side of you. Do the backstab. It is risky against these guys, because of course, you mess up, they'll get you. Maybe that's not really the enemy to do it against. I don't like this combo either, but fortunately we can get rid of you quickly. For you, you're down too. Long room. I'm surprised by that. Ooh, and even a bunch more people over here. Please stop chasing me. Thank you. Even more. We don't have any chaos effects on at the moment, do we? Increasing the number of enemies? It feels like it. I don't think so. Get rid of you. And you. And I totally whiffed on that cast there. That was very nearly a terrible time to have to reload. Get the bloodstones back. Should mean we can get rid of you guys, or at least get close to it. There we go. Okay. And, I mean, we don't really have anything great to be upgrading here. I guess we're using the cast a lot more often than we're using the special, even if the special is, I think, higher rarity and, in theory, might be a little bit better. But the cast just works a little bit better with the heat that we're working with right now, where people have shields. It's a little bit quicker. Okay, so this is the last room before the boss fight. Our options are Athena. We've not yet seen her. E and Palm. Like I was saying, I don't think this is the best time for Palm. We could try taking the Athena, see what we get out of it, and then maybe we upgrade whatever we get from Athena. Otherwise, we might just pass on the Palm altogether, though Divine Dash, I mean, whenever it shows up, you pretty much gotta take it, right? but I don't really think it's something that you need to upgrade with a palm, because it upgrades the damage, and that's not really the important part about it. The important part about it is that it deflects projectiles and everything else. So I think we just save more obols. No golden herbs in here, I don't think. No? Oh, Charon, do you? Okay, no. Doesn't have anything special to say to us.
What about Electos next?
I don't know who it is this time. Oh, Tisiphone. Sure. Something like that? Oh, okay. That's what I get for trying to be too quick there. Okay. You have several skills that you use that stun, first of all, and you've hit us with just about all of them. But what I meant, or what I was going to say, is that you have several skills that allow you to sort of change the direction you're facing rather quickly. You sort of attack once in one direction, and then almost immediately go in the opposite direction. Can we just like all these back to you? That would be great, but that was wishful thinking. Yes, this is a very bad start. Maybe let's stop getting so clever here. Just hit you. Yeah. Especially because she does get significantly, or sort of, significantly harder as time goes on. But don't get hit by this. But as the rooms get smaller, it will get trickier. Oh, a bad bloodstone there. Oh, that was a good opportunity to get some backstabs in, but largely missed. Whenever she dashes like that, I think that's the best time for us to load up on the damages. Did she still hit us there? Not sure. So I suppose there are still times to make it happen. Surprised she hasn't phased yet. I'm not looking at her life bar very closely, but more so just based on how many times we hit her. There we go. Yeah, definitely taking more damage than I would like to take at this stage. That's not good. Don't do that. But you can just stand there all you'd like. That works. Try to deflect these back in your face. Backstab you. There we go. Okay. Bad beginning. But we recovered, I think, at the end there, and...
I'm innocent.
we are innocent. We're not a murderer, I swear.
Just shudder.
So more Titan Blood, that's great. We will get some life restored when we go through here, but I don't think we're going to get back up to full HP. No, 76 is okay, but not amazing. So, I was hoping that the Eternal Rose would give us the option of using an attack boon from Aphrodite. We have not yet picked that up. We have already gotten the guaranteed boon from Aphrodite, so there's not that much of a benefit from holding on to this. It would still mean that we'd have that 10% increased rarity chance with that attack boon. Maybe that's reason enough. Are there any other keepsakes, though, that we feel like would be preferable? We do have a little bit of Zeus going on. I'm not sure we have anything that we feel like we must get from him. Unless we were thinking, after all, that the Zeus attack would be good. Maybe? I think any of the gods or goddesses that benefit from having quick attacks, like Dionysus with the Hangover, or the Chill from Demeter, that's probably not a good idea. Maybe we try going for Zeus here. And there's still a reasonable chance that we'll get Aphrodite to show up because we have an Aphrodite precedent. So let's switch to Zeus, get the guaranteed boon from him. And if it is a high rarity attack boon, then we'll go for it.
I still need these.
If it's not so high rarity, maybe we get picky and hold off for a bit. Let's see. So we could get... Oh, actually, I was going to say, back up to maximum HP. This would not get us there. It'd get us awfully close. We could also get a random item. Don't feel like this is necessary yet. If we go into rooms in Asphodel and immediately take a bunch of damage, then we might be looking for this in a subsequent well. Let's try this, though, see what we get. See if we can get something valuable. Well, the Yarn of Ariadne for increased rarity on our next boon. That was a pretty big bargain, I think. That's usually 70 obols and one of the better items. And we got it for, what was it, 45, I think? So I'll absolutely take that. Okay.
The Asphodel Meadows.
And I don't see any golden urns, and we're starting off with gems. Not really what we were looking for here. This is one of the small rooms. A lot of lava in it. You guys It's hard to hit. Rather mobile. Let's stand in the lava briefly there. There we go. More of ya. We can deal some damage with the dash, which is nice, because that does mean that we can theoretically dash into people and just remove the shield. Normally, that would be not a huge difference maker, but it's enough to get rid of their shield from the heat. That is something, in that case. Yeah, I'm stepping in a little bit too much of the lava here. Sure. Okay, let's chain the cast. Where'd he go? Not over there is the answer. There we go. Sloppy room, I think. And ultimately, not one that changes much to make us stronger either. So that's not great. Though Euricity could certainly help. Though, bear in mind, we did just pick up the Yarn of Ariadne, which is roughly equivalent to one of the things you would oftentimes get from Euricity. So we'll see how that might affect what we want to take here. Ooh, golden urn, I'll definitely take that. And let's gift her some nectar as well.
Aw, for me? Really, Your Majesty? This will be perfect for my latest recipes.
I hope so. Yeah, definitely.
You know, of all the souls I've ever met, I feel like you put this stuff to the best possible use.
That's a very good point. But as for actual things that we get from you...
What's his name is doing, but I don't even care.
Something tells me you do, though? Okay, so we can have 2 random boons that we currently have upgraded to the next rarity. I'm not sure that makes a huge difference to us because, like I was saying, I mean, we do have at least 1 high rarity boon with our special, but it's just not something that we're relying too heavily on right now. And I don't think that the rarity on the dash is all that important. The cast, it would be helpful for that, yes. But that's about it. I don't think that's a huge deal. And then additional levels, similar story. That would leave us with the Refreshing Nectar for upgraded rarity for our next boons. This is basically the same thing as a Yarn of Ariadne, and I always forget as to whether these basically just overlap and we are going to waste the Yarn of Ariadne for the next use and it'll expend this charge here and then first use from the Refreshing Nectar as well, or if the game says, no, hold on, Yarn of Ariadne first, and then we'll start taking away the Refreshing Nectar charges from you. Or maybe they can, in fact, double up and you get even higher rarity for the first boon that you encounter. I'm not sure. So, I mean, thing is, normally I would say that would be reason enough not to take this, though I really don't think that we benefit much at all from either of these options here, so I think we take it.
Here you go.
Okay.
Wow, that's good.
So, double check if there's anything down there. I don't think there is. Here would be our guaranteed Zeus boon, and this would be the one that we are getting a ton of rarity on. So, I think we do this. We hope for the attack boon. And it, I would think, would be pretty high rarity. Given everything we have going on here. There is a golden urn there, but we charge up the shot. So I was thinking, let's not waste that charge shot on you. Okay. You can also deflect the projectiles back at people. Get rid of the shields. That could help too. Almost got hit. I think the deflection actually got rid of that enemy altogether. Dash got rid of that enemy altogether. That's not bad. Okay, we do have powered up shot here. I think we deflected that laser beam that he shot at us and then almost ran back into it. It's a little strange. Don't think we technically took damage from it, though I'd argue maybe we deserved to. Do I have bloodstone? You have them? There we go. There they are. Oh, well, I walked into those. You gotta go. Okay.
Lord Uncle Zeus.
So we're expecting something pretty big from Zeus here, I would think.
I accept this message.
And we do have epic rarity on either the attack or on the call. One downside to the attack is, yes, it does give us a little bit more area of effect that might be potentially a nice combination with what we got on the explosive fire from the hammer upgrade, but I think it does generally benefit most from quick attacks, because the base damage is not very high, 15, so you want to be spamming this as often as possible to make this happen as often as possible, and we do not really have a fast attack right now, we are, especially if we're doing the manual reload, having a pretty slow attack. So, tell you what, as much as we were talking about this, I'm still on the fence as to whether this is really a good idea or not. Might be better to go with the Zeus Aid, because epic rarity for that could be quite good. And then static discharge is very good as well if you can get a reliable source of lightning effects. And so I don't think this is the pick for us yet, but in the future, it very well could be. So, really tempting, but I think we do go with Zeus's Aid here. And I think I saw that we use the Yarn of Ariadne, we still have all of our charges of Refreshing Nectar, so I think it does take turns, and these don't overlap with one another at all, which is probably still a good thing. Okay, here we go. Thought I heard something else in here. Yes, there's a trove for darkness. That is a lot of darkness, and we have Dark Thirst, so it could be even more than that. So I like that, and then I do also like, I think, the Zeus Spoon here. Probably would be looking for that source of Jolt, and maybe not the Zeus attack after all, because Demeter is definitely one where I think it benefits most from having fast attacks, and we don't have that. So let's definitely do this.
What's mine?
Start with that.
Get your hands off my trophy.
Well, we're gonna take it, so, nice try. Also, please don't do all that stuff on us. Slow you. Counterflow those back. I would like to have them back. Right about now. Thank you. Okay, got you guys down. There we go. We are down to 10 life, but the darkness
Mine now.
is actually as much as 90 because it gets boosted by Dark Thirst. That brings us back up to 64, which I think is still on net an increase in terms of life relative to what we had before. So, could have been cleaner, could have been faster, but I think we did still benefit from it. And I think we still go with Zeus here. For the more generic lightning synergies, less so for Zeus attack. Okay, looks like the Witch's Circle here.
Hello, Witch's Circle.
And the deflect on our dash, I think, is going to be key right about now. Still don't have a lot of experience with this room. Once upon a time, I thought it was really difficult, and I think in some ways still find that to be the case. But I think the deflection on our dash is going to be a big difference maker here. We can basically just play defensively like this and see how much damage we can do with our dashes, like that. As long as we are mindful of not, well, yeah, there we go. Not dashing into too many of the projectiles, or well, running out of our dashes and running into the projectiles without deflecting them. So, all in all, I think for the Witch's Circle, it didn't take too much damage there. What do you have for us this time, Zeus?
You'd like to get to know the comely Aphrodite face to face?
Oh.
Or, I don't know, you can decide once you arrive at last. He can decide, isn't that right, my lady Aphrodite?
Look at that! A quick duo boon, it
Sounded rather
seems.
like a crass remark from you. How shocking that the golden standard for the rest of us should have such words for me.
No, be nice.
All right.
And we've not yet taken Smoldering Air. Your God Gauge charges up automatically, but is capped at 25%? What? That's a weird one. Okay, we do have the epic rarity on the Zeus attack. We do, again, have the static discharge. That's strange, because does that mean we can't even use the greater calls? It's capped at 25%? I might actually not like that. It is a duo boon, so it is very rare. And it may still be, I mean, charging up 1% every 0.2 seconds is crazy. That is still really fast. Seems like basically what this means is that you will be able to use a lesser version of your call very frequently, but you are not going to be able to use the big one, which is very much not the playstyle that I typically use, so that makes me nervous. But I'll give it a shot. It's going to take a conscious effort to change that up. And I don't really think it's going to work well for me, based on the way that I typically use those calls, but we'll see what we can do. And Fountain Chamber is
Fountain Chamber.
a welcome sight. That gets us close to full HP here, which is good, because we were in and around half before that. We were talking about how we could perhaps use some more nectars, but I still think that it's not one of the stronger options, so we could potentially alter this one here. We have 3 rerolls right now. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what we get.
Let's see what else.
Okay, but darkness is not really all that great. Thought that nectar was in the same pool, as boons. No, it isn't. It isn't, come to think of it. So yeah, that was always going to be either, what would it have been? Darkness, gems, keys, things of that sort. So I suppose in that case, yeah, we should have stuck with Nectar. But either way, what did we end up with? Darkness. It'll give us a little bit more healing, which, after getting hit there, means it's not a terrible idea, I suppose. Got that. Bloodstones. And if our special were quicker, it could deal a ton of damage with it. But we still can. It just takes some anticipation. Maybe that's a good thing to do when we're prepping for enemies to spawn in like that. Usually I've been using the cast to lead things off because that's one of our quickest attacks, so that was not good. I don't like these guys here who have a bazillion combos to their attack. You always think they're done, then they have more. That. You have a well. Oh, okay. For some reason I thought that was an enemy there, and I was like, okay, let's dash toward it. Turned out it was an explosive. Don't dash toward those. There's a little life lesson for you. Generally speaking, not a good idea.
Right there.
Also, don't forget about the big backstab damage we have. That's something that definitely could do a little bit more emphasize. You are just barely turning around quickly enough. Oh, I just walked straight into that. Okay, let's get some manual reloads in here. Wow, you were still on your armor? You weren't even on your health bar? There's some backstabs. But oh my goodness. That enemy took a long time to take down, and yeah, I suppose we could use the HP from the darkness there, and probably even from Hydrolite. That might not be a bad idea here. We're on 323 obols. I think that gives us enough that we can invest in this now and not be too concerned about not being able to do things at our next shop. We do have Hermes, or a shop. Hermes is quite good, though. So even though we could potentially afford a couple things at the shop, let's go for Hermes. Save up a little bit for our next shop. And then whenever we do go there, we'll be able to buy just about everything, hopefully. And this is the last room before the boss fight. That means this is a free boon, so to speak. And let's give to Nectar. Why not?
Lord Hermes, sir, you've asked for nothing in return, and so please take this humble offering, because it's nothing, really.
And you've been helping us out.
Well, no, that's awful kind there, cuz. No need to thank me, though. Not so profusely, anyhow.
Alright. As for your actual boon,
So you took on my good professional associate, is that right, cuz? And you beat the big boatman himself? I knew you were pretty tough.
This
but
is
not
true.
That tough. Impressive work. He's impressed too. He isn't even mad.
you can understand him? I suppose you are his associate, so I'd hope you can. The additional attack speed would be nice. We did get a little bit of movement speed, the 7% from Boldy. We could further emphasize that with this. For the 40% cast speed, I mean, we are using our cast a lot, but I think this might still be better for us. Let's go for it. Okay. And might make it a little bit more palatable if we were to go with the Zeus attack boon after all. Because we were saying how our relatively slow attack speed is one of the reasons why it doesn't seem great for us.
You don't mind if I call you Lerny from now on, right?
Hope not.
I'll take that as a no, not at all. Thank you for asking, friend.
So if we are just using our attack as quickly as possible and using it like we've done, then we definitely can't. Oh no, I for some reason didn't see that one coming. Then we definitely do have a quick attack, especially after what we were just doing, picking up that boon there. It's more so that if we are deliberately trying to, oh, I forgot about our call. Now we have that theoretically charging up quite quickly. We probably had that for basically the entirety of our previous room. So this Lerny summons a bunch of friends is his thing. Ones that have a bazillion combos, and I'm not a huge fan of that. We do have this, and we should do that often. But like I said, that's very much not the way that I tend to use my calls. So, what is happening? Okay. standing there doing nothing because I guess we're out of bloodstones. But I really just felt like ZAGREUS froze for a second there. Okay, wow! Just got absolutely mauled by those guys there. Okay, can we just, like, not get hit by you, please? I'm not liking this right now. I'm not particularly liking this. I mean, we've allowed learning to create a bazillion of his friends, which means that we are certainly at a disadvantage here. So I would like to get rid of some of them, if we can. Oh, they're still picking up. Oh my goodness. So, we are on 4 HP right now, so, chances are we will end up using a Death Defiance here, which is, of course, not really something that I'm pleased to admit, but, I mean, unless we take 0 damage from here on out, which seems very unlikely, especially with these guys continuing to pursue us, and they will keep on spawning. So, it's not really a sustainable answer to, just try to take them out and assume that they will not come back, because they will. Unless we make a point of destroying the little spawners that Big Learning is making. We've not really made a point of doing. Let's do some of this. And again, there it is. I really don't like it. I really don't like that duo. But I'm sure there are ways in which you can make it work well. We have it again, we do. Like, we could just stand on top of Learning very frequently and use it almost all the time. Probably technically the thing we should be doing. We are close to having to use the second Death Defiance. That'd be very bad, and I think it's about to happen. Yeah, so I kind of hate this build. And by kind of hate, I mean I despise this build. It is the opposite of everything that I'd like to do. So, I mean, ultimately, is that my fault? Yes. But, can we find a way to make it work, nonetheless? Alright, first of all, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We need to make sure we get out of this room. I mean, we are splitting damage like crazy between all these heads. Let's get rid of some, at least. Not really using our manual reload by any means, to the extent that we could. That really looked like a backstab, but apparently it was not, so... Oops. And Major Learning hits us there. So, things not looking good here. In case that was not clear. Go away, combo dudes. Leave us alone. Wow. We have another call. There's no one over here, though, so, I mean, we probably had that for a while, yes, but get rid of another head. Saw that one coming, at least. Get rid of you. Yeah, we are on 17 life, so a couple more hits, maybe even one from... These guys deal a lot of damage. The ads that he's creating. So, they're no joke. They are no joke. So I think that's part of it, is just need to be making more of a point of making sure that they cannot spawn to the extent that we've allowed them to spawn. We've enabled Learning to do some terrible things. Okay, another head down. Get ready to before you spawn another one. Sort of, yes. Some of this. Try to get rid of you. And not step in the lava in the process. It's running away. Now it looks like it's just Learning. Main Learning. Get rid of that. Is there... Okay. There's no more of the other heads. Learning seemed like for a second there was just taking a break. What are you? I think did get, yeah, one friend back. Does, yes, summon the Stompy dude as well. Just come up on a few occasions. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. This is very... That's all of our Death Defiances. Oh my god, what has happened? What has happened? We created a monster. What's happened? I'll tell you that much. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. We are about to die in Asphodel. Learning is, well, kind of close going down here. But, I mean, at what cost? And I'm not even sure we're going to pull it off here. Not really who we wanted to hit with it, but there we go. This is looking not so great. And by not so great, I mean, last time we were testing our luck, this time, we're taking it a step too far, I think, in all likelihood. I mean, nearly took a little bit of damage in the lava right there. And any damage at this point would perhaps be the last we take, because we are getting awfully low. So I think we are in emergency territory. Is there any way to rescue this? Well, we saw what happened last time when we were in a similar situation was we needed to rely heavily on Athena to give us some of her boons that bring us back some Death Defiances. We're also still only on 63 life. We do have a decent amount of obols, so we have that working in our favor. We do still have one of the increased rarity boons remaining, Refreshing Nectar, that we picked up from Eurysity. But I don't really like the boons that we have right now. So, I mean, we'll take this. I don't think we need Yarn of Ariadne right now because we do still have increased rarity on our next boon. It is still nice, yes, but I think we need to make sure that we, at all times, have at least 200 obols for the Kiss of Styx to buy that from other wells. Of course, we do have that right now, but I mean, ideally we're buying it multiple times. And we need to make sure that we are able to buy basically any source of life restoration. Because, yeah, we basically need to have everything work out in our favor in order to pull this off now. We also have not yet gotten any maximum life upgrades. That could have helped too. But I think, as much as it would be nice to get this, really hard to pass up on a hammer. It is certainly possible that we could get a hammer upgrade that makes us much better offensively. Come on. At least hit him. Okay, I'm gonna dash into you, get rid of the shield. Then do some of this. Power shot is not enough. Should try to sneak up behind you on that occasion, like that. You stay pretty still for a while. Okay, you guys probably just want to try to avoid and blast the normal shot. Oop, missed. Okay. Little flame wheels down. Sounds like someone is respawning, but I haven't seen any of the enemies that actually respawn. Okay, just go for the backstab damage on you guys. And try not to get hit in general. Okay. First room went reasonably well, and we get a hammer, so that is big. Attack faster and more accurate. Ooh, that sounds good. Buster Bomb is fantastic, but we have already taken it, and we are, at least in theory, focusing on the attack. Where your attack is a 3-round burst, and you never have to reload. That sounds like that is the opposite of what we want with our aspect. Go with this. And we... Oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Tell you what. I do feel like our attack speed is quick enough at this point that maybe we forget about our aspect and the whole manual reload thing and extra damage from that, and instead switch to Dionysus, try to get the hangover on our attack, because that's a pretty quick attack right there. So I take back everything I was saying before about us having a slow attack. I mean, yes, if we are to use the manual reload, then that would still be the case, but at this point, again, we've sort of made a very dysfunctional build. We've emphasized the things that we didn't really want to emphasize, and this is what we ended up with. Not loving what we have here for either option. Thinking the obols might be a little bit better than a palm, but again, we are pretty desperate at this point, so I think this is probably time for a reroll. And we probably should have rerolled the palm and then had the obols as our backup, but Hermes is good. We'll definitely take him. Okay.
Come on.
More you guys. I think this is a pretty good enemy for us to go up against. I prefer to only have one of you at a time. But we saw that we can pretty consistently hit you from behind. Okay, one of them is almost down. Get you. Then we can manually reload real quick, throw some cast at you, finish you off. Those the only enemies in the room at the time? It might have been. Not sure how we are technically more accurate. Not sure how the game makes us be able to do that. But, sure. Okay. Now we're getting a little bit of other types of enemies, too. might complicate matters a bit. I'd like to get rid of you, because I don't really want the projectiles chasing us down as well. And more of you. Just what the customer ordered. We are close to taking you guys out, so that might be the way to go now. Okay, yep, got both of you. I think we deflected those hits there. So still, got away with that one there. I think we still have not taken any damage in Elysium, which I'm sure I've now jinxed us with. Okay, what do we want from you, Hermes? We're using a call, gain dodge. I mean, we do have calls very frequently, so that could be very good. Or, oh man, can dash 3 additional times in a row. Defensively, this would be amazing, because we have the deflection on our dash. This could mean that we are basically dashing 100% of the time. So I think either of these can be amazing. This is a little bit more synergistic with what we have going on with our duo boon, but I really don't like our duo boon. So I think let's not emphasize that. Instead, let's emphasize what is working right now, which is the deflection on the dash. So yeah, we can basically just non-stop dash. So that's great. I love that. Anything else in here? Don't think so. But remember, we re-rolled into this room, and I think that definitely paid off. Let's go for the darkness here, in hopes of getting a little bit of healing out of that. There is a well. That could also be big. Yeah, I'd like to try to fight just a few of you at a time. By a few, I mean ideally one. But I think we've already failed in that regard. When we stand next to each other like that, that does help us out. Get bloodstones back. Okay, got some eyeballs. Can we get rid of those? Okay, you're down. Try to backstab you, and don't jump into that attack. That would not be a good idea. Okay, you're down. There we go. Manual reload. Shield guy. Okay. Generally not a big fan of them. Definitely prefer the sword dudes. How did you just do that? It's like you blew wings and flew at us. Like that back in the face as well. Take you out before you can do anything. Now just shield, bro. Get from behind. We do, of course, have the backstab damage, which is basically what you have to do against these guys. So, in some ways, that does work out well for us. Hello? Okay. Okay, I don't like you. Shield you. Other kind of shield you. Kind that makes it so we can't hurt you at all. Friends, at least. Get this back. Also, missing out on the bloodstones. Okay. Shield dude number 1 down. Shield dude number 2 here. Back again. So. Pass. Pain against you guys. Throw in a special every now and again, maybe. Have not been doing much of that at all. It feels so slow in comparison. Okay. Your eyeballs do not get a chance to come back. That's very important. Don't do that. Please don't do that. How long is this room, also? Oh my goodness. I mean, we aren't exactly killing these guys quickly, but part of that has been there are a bunch of shield guys. Both the shades with the shield and the stones that shield their friends. There we go. Did take some damage on that room, but we get some life back from this. Still did on net take a little bit, but here's one Kiss of Sticks.
I can use this.
That gets us closer. Light of Ixion for the Chaos Gate can be fantastic. I don't know if we can take that risk at this point in time, though. I feel like we've tested ourselves a lot defensively here, and having a Chaos Spoon that could make us a lot weaker still makes me nervous. I think we gotta play it a little bit safer than that now. Thought I heard, yes, Trove as well, though. Hold on. This Trove, if we can get some additional life back from this, I think that could help us out. Then we have Athena is another type of boon that we definitely want to try to get because she does have other ways to restore Death Defiance too. Patroclus would be amazing, of course, getting us back all of our Death Defiances. That is still a possibility. And then Max Life is not terrible, because like I said, we're still only on 100 life here. So at some point, we really do need to get some of that. But let's start with this. First things first.
My coffers are not yours for pillaging.
Of course, we are putting ourselves a little bit at risk here. Could take some damage, but the hope here is that any damage we will take, could take, we would heal off by getting like that. By taking up all the darkness. None of that. You gotta go. are being difficult. Don't do that. Please go down. Thank you. Okay. Could have been better. Could have been faster. Could have taken a little less damage, but I think... Oh, we also get a nectar out of that? And that brought us up to maximum life.
Good stuff. And
got a nectar. That's a little bonus. That's helpful. So, do we feel any more confident about taking the Light of Ixion at this point? Still not so much. And as tempting as it is to finally pick up some max life, I think we can't ever pass up Athena. I think we basically need to absolutely always take her. It is a mini-boss, so it could be Asterius, could be Butterfly Dude. It is Asterius.
You must take pleasure in having to fight against me, Short One. I too have come to look forward to it, even if I end up falling to your strength.
Oh, that might be the most respect he's ever given us.
Oh, I was going to say I'd much prefer we settle this more amicably, couldn't we?
True.
Perhaps I could interest you in a fine bottle of nectar. Ambrosia, even.
Yeah, we do have some of that.
No, thank you. These battles are enough. Besides, you won that ambrosia from us, fair and square.
That's true, we took it from them. He knows. He knows. Okay. Shield down. Asterius is, of course, slow until he starts doing his charge. He does also stand still for a while. So, ooh, that was I think he should be someone who we can absolutely hit with the backstab damage pretty often like that. And here comes the charge. He also can theoretically deflect it, maybe, possibly. Okay. Now, yeah, we can use our dashes and all of our quick attacks. I think we can actually become very speedy, which is interesting, because that's not what we were thinking we'd be doing. Wow, our damage is still quite low, though. So we still have an attack boom. And we have hammer upgrades that are improving our attack. We have the chaos boom that's making our backstab damage much better. So that's in some ways... Oh, I was hoping we were just far enough away that was not going to hit us. But in some ways, the chaos boom has sort of been our substitute for an attack boom. But we still very much would like one. We passed up on some on a few occasions, yes. So perhaps we deserve not having one at this point in time, but we could use something else. You have those calls. They're coming up a lot, so I should make a point of using them more. Yeah. Okay. Get a better sense of exactly how long it does take. We have it back on it. You stay away. And at this point, it seems like, yeah, like I was saying before, our aspect is almost null and void. Because everything we've done after has been very much the opposite playstyle in mind. Okay, so that's first phase down. Which means that now he has those shockwaves. Makes it a little bit harder to avoid all the damage from. But, oh no, for a second I was going to charge. Okay, and Willie comes back turn to us, yes. Can deflect those back at him though. There is that. We do have a bazillion dashes. We have that working in our favor. We really can just dash whenever we want. And there is something to be said for that. Ooh, like we technically shouldn't be getting hit by that. But our lack of damage is really showing here. This is really our best chance is whenever he's hanging out like that. Okay. Oh, really? I don't know. You kind of just ran right by the statue there, and I was dashing even when you hit. At least pressing the dash button. A little confused about that one, but we are close to having to use Death Defiance here, and there it is. And given how long this fight was going, it makes sense that it was going to come down to that, and that was a risk that I suppose we knew we could potentially face, and it's a shame that we came so close to taking him out. We just barely missed taking him out before we had to use that. That is a big big loss there. We might be able to get one back here from Athena, but the hope was, of course, to stockpile more Death Defiances, not use one and just on net sit on the same number at the end of this encounter.
There must be some unconquerable force or foe awaiting you just at the border of your realm and ours. We cannot even see it through a shroud of darkness there. I shall make certain that your family knows it may take considerable time to surpass. So fear not, for we are patient here.
Okay, good. Just, don't read too much into, how it's like actually our father, Hades, who's stopping us, and there may or may not be a deep, dark secret that we're all trying to hide from you because we're concerned about potentially starting a war. Just don't think about that stuff. Okay, so this would be a way to restore Death Defiance. This was one of the things we were looking for. This would be silly with our duo boon. In fact, starting our God Gauge with 30%, does that mean that we instantly walk into a room and can use our first call? And then, well, the thing is, it can't actually go any higher than that. It's already capped at 25%. So, yeah, that's pretty silly. That's actually, I would think, pretty terrible. And it would be nice to finally get an attack boon, but this is the primary reason why we went here, was to get this. Still, I don't love it because, of course, we had to use Death Defiance to get through here, so we didn't really benefit from this much at all. There's one other thing that came with the boon as well, in addition to the getting back at Death Defiance. I forget what exactly it was, but I think that was a more minor part to it. Big thing was getting back to Death Defiance, and we're still only on 50 life here. Because remember, when we use Death Defiance, we only get back 50% of our life, and because we have low life, not much, and that means we can get stuck in a bit of a loop here if we're not careful. And basically, after using one Death Defiance, have low enough HP that we have to use another one soon thereafter, and that's sort of what happened before. Well, I mean, we did get to heal back up going into this Darius fight, so we should have. I mean, obviously, we should have been able to take him out without having to use another one there. Obviously have our call here. Like we were saying, we have some strange stuff going on the call front. Let me know what you guys think of that duo boon there between Zeus and Aphrodite. As you can tell, I personally do not like it at all. Because also, great use of the call there. Because it is totally contrary to everything that I do with the call. So it just completely changes my playstyle in that regard. But maybe there are some of you who think that it's great, because it does mean you can use the calls more frequently. They're just always going to be weak calls. You have a specific type of setup that you like to use with it? Do you feel synergized as well? Okay. You now have some eyeballs. A lot of eyeballs. You need to be very careful that they don't respawn all at the same time. Kind of like this. Was the last enemy in the room. We didn't take any damage here. It was just a palm. This might have been a room that we might have wanted to re-roll as well. More damage on the dash is not really great. I think we go with the cast here. So we're using that most aggressively at the moment. We go shop. I think that almost has to be the answer here because, I mean, it means no enemies, which means no damage unless we decide to, well, do what we did a little while ago with Charon, which would not be a good time to do that. It may not even be an option. I'm, of course, referring to taking any items that might be back there, although there aren't any at the moment. So I think we need this, and we probably want this as well. Can we afford all that? I think we can. So, also think I heard a fishing spot. Yes, okay. If nothing else, let's try to get something out of this run by hopefully picking up good fish. Yeah, at least we got a clam. And we did get some Titan blood and diamonds at the very beginning. But we'll see if we can do something to rescue this run here. Duo boon, actually. Or our trial, I should say. Between Aphrodite and Zeus. That is tempting, as is a heart. This is dangerous, of course, though. And we do want to do this first, so getting ahead of myself here. Let's do this.
Should help keep me going.
Then let's see what we get from this here. Poseidon. Not yet seen him.
Certain that whatever price you paid, you got a deal.
I hope so. I don't know, though. We could get an attack boon from you. Get our God Gauge charged up faster when we take damage. All these things trying to make our God Gauge charge up faster when we can only have up to 25% on our God Gauge. It's not working so great for us in that regard. I mean, sure, we could use a really weak call all the time. Yes, we switched our call to something else. Like, we got an Athena call and made it so we could be impervious when we have our call up, and we have our call up basically all the time, and have the Divine Dash with our bazillion dashes. Then between those things, we could potentially make it so that we are almost completely invulnerable. Yes, but we don't have that right now. So I also just generally don't really like these very much. I'd say the attack boon is probably the best one here, but I'm not necessarily sure we want to commit to a Poseidon attack that knocks foes away. Is that really what we want? It's also only 41% increased damage, which is not great. So this is not really what I was hoping for here either. I mean, we can embrace the meme. Let's embrace the meme.
Thank you, mate.
Okay, and then this is the safe option, for sure. Getting more max life. As I was saying, we just picked up our first max life upgrade, and we're pretty far into Elysium now. Long term, this would be the best option if we think that we can survive it, which is not necessarily a given. Let's give it a shot, though. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so 2 boons, one from Zeus, one from Aphrodite. One we don't pick will get mad at us and will attack us. Aphrodite, I think, has heat-seeking hearts, whereas Zeus, has circles in the ground that rain lightning bolts? I think I'm not a huge fan of the Aphrodite heat-seeking hearts. I'm probably going to take her. Also, worth noting, there is a well here that, I mean, we can see if there's another Kiss of Styx. That would, of course, be the dream. Oh, except we don't have enough. We don't have enough obols for that. So remember when I said we want to always make sure we have at least 200 obols? That might come back to haunt us here. We did, of course, pick up a Kiss of Styx previously. Chances of us getting another one are perhaps low, but see what we get here. So this is the kind of thing that I was hoping for, would be the Aphrodite attack boon, because it has very high percentage increased damage here. Just rare rarity could have been better if it was epic, of course, but I think this is probably the attack boon that we would have liked to have gotten in the shop that we just went to, except we got, at least in terms of options, that Poseidon one that we passed on. So this is, it's good. It could have been a little bit better if it was higher rarity, but I think we'll take it.
Order to this world and claim the heavens for myself, only to be insulted by my own nephew.
Okay, and we hope that this room is not a nightmare. But it could be. Okay, I think, yeah, Zeus being mad at us is not so bad. He says famous last words, right? Something hit us there, I'm not sure. We have a bunch of archers. It can be hard to dodge. In theory, we should have a bazillion dashes, so we might be able to deflect all of their projectiles back at them. That's also easier said than done. That one is rearming, that is true. Let's not let it do that. Same here. Get rid of you. Trying to deflect the traps as frequently as I can, too. That can deal a lot of damage. But I'm not paying too much attention to how much damage they're dealing if they hit us. Not really focusing on that much at all. Oh, did it rearm? I was trying to take them both out, but I guess I just didn't quite do enough for the other one here. If it's just one of you, it's not so bad, but there might be another wave even after this. Wouldn't necessarily rule that out. Yeah, there is. Okay. Oh, and also, as I was mainly reloading, I did not realize that Zeus was not attacking us there. Okay, let's make sure you don't come back. I know there are other guys attacking us right now, but yeah, those traps are, I think, doing wonders for us. They're doing a lot of damage. Other thing on our attack boon that we got from Aphrodite is that we are causing foes to be charmed. They will deal less damage to us with their attacks, and we could use something like that, given what we've been experiencing thus far. Oh, there are also arrow shooting attacks from that corner to this corner, but there we go. We took some damage, yes, but ultimately I think it could have been a lot worse from a damage standpoint. We do get 2 boons out of the room, so hopefully this pays off.
I can't stay wrathful toward you, much as I might try. They're better not to tempt me, just in case.
Okay. And this time, after we call, we deal more damage for 15 seconds. That could be good with what we have going on with our call. Or our lightning bolt effects have chance to strike twice, which would be our call, right? So both of these would make our call stronger. After you take damage, this is just a revenge one. We have not yet taken this one. Let's go for it. Oh, and in fact, that was the last one we needed, so okay. At least we finished a prophecy. There's that. Okay, I was really hoping that we would not get a Kiss of Styx here, because then that would just be the game rubbing it in our face that we spent too many obols in the previous shop. We could make a point of getting up to... Would this get us to max life? It would. For 29 obols, let's just double check what our next rooms are. Like, do we have a shop coming up that we definitely want to have obols for? I mean, not that we'd be able to do much with 86. I think we save it here and hope that the darkness will help us get some HP back.
More strongbows.
More strongbows indeed. Also, aiming anywhere near our opponents would probably be helpful. Please stop running away. Okay, one down. Make sure that the eyeball does not respawn. Okay. Truthfully down, in that case. You are low. Get you. Yep. Okay. Think we're safe here? Yes. Not from you, though. Also, not from that trap. Okay. You're an eyeball. Get rid of you. I've done so. You're almost down. You are down. No eyeballs coming back, please. That is strictly forbidden. The manual reload in when we can. I mean, definitely has faded to the background here. Not been much of a factor as of late. Eyeball, don't do that. That's not cool. Shoot from behind, backstab damage. Ooh, I just froze up there. Oh, eyeball with the butterflies. I don't think we've seen any of them thus far. Strangely enough. Normally they would appear much earlier than this. Okay, eyeball. If we got rid of it. Although, there's still more enemies spawning? I'm surprised. I don't like the quantity of butterflies. Making things a little bit trickier. We could, say, get rid of some of the sources of butterflies. That'd be lovely. Thank you. Okay. You're an eyeball. You are no longer an eyeball. Neither are you. Okay.
What do we have here?
Okay, so we took a little bit of damage, but we healed some, or a reasonable amount of damage, but healed some of it off with the darkness there. Do have a shop, do have max life. Shop with only 119 obols. Is that worth it? Are there any golden urns here that could change the equation a bit? I don't think so, in which case, I think we need to pass it up and go for the max life here. This might even be the last room. It is the last room before the bosses. Okay, so we got no Patroclus. That would have been our bailout, but we did not get it. So we are, in that case, in serious trouble here. And it is still possible that we might be able to purchase future Kisses of Styx from future wells, but that means we have to get through this encounter here, which is by no means guaranteed. Because we are a little bit over half HP with 1 Death Defiance remaining. We do have decent defenses with our dash at least. But offensively, we are pretty limited.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
Made some somewhat decent upgrades recently, but we'll see how much of a difference that makes.
That he fled to haunt the surface must have been mere lies.
Sure.
Well, no, in this case, those rumors must have been quite accurate. It's just I'm back. Realized I didn't want a future for myself that didn't include crushing you repeatedly like this.
Oh no, we can't lose to him after saying that, right?
Oh, such clever excuse-making from one so versed in treachery. Well, if you are indeed contained within this realm, then we shall be delighted to make sure it always stays that way. Now come and fight.
Okay, so I'm trying to think who we want to prioritize here. I think we might want to make a point of taking out Asterius first, because with all of our dashes, might be a better setup that we have going against Theseus than we do Asterius. Try to get rid of Asterius first. Okay. I think we did successfully deflect Theseus' spear back at him that time. Where are they? Okay. Ooh, did I avoid that one? I may have. Darius. Get these back. Try to at least get them to deflect between two of you. Oh, you're throwing him. I saw that coming. I saw it coming. Can't fool me. I'd like to get you close. We can deflect our cast between you. I don't think we did manage to pull that off. So I think we kind of need to play a patient game here. At least at the moment. And just eke out little bits and pieces of damage against Asterius whenever we can. We will weaken whoever we hit with our attacks. Deflected Theseus' attack there. Not a bad thing. Get the stanchion there. It's not really doing us much good. That's a bad time to have to reload. Ooh, and I focused on seeing that opportunity there to attack Theseus when he had his back turned, but in the process, ooh, got hit by Asterius. I mean, still take the damage opportunities when we can against Theseus, but like I said, we prefer, I think, to target Asterius here. Prioritize him at the very least. Keep him weakened whenever we can as well. Okay, so phase for Asterius here. Oh, that was sloppy. Come on, Asterius. Please crash into something. Thank you. Ooh, I think we did still get it by something from Asterius, I'm pretty sure. We are low on, or at least relatively low on HP. Which is not a good sign. We're out of bloodstones as well. Not sure what angle Theseus had on us on that occasion. Okay, Asterius is charging and immediately loses his charge, so that's good. Okay, ooh, yep, deflected that, and that. Have more of these, of course, and should be using them, really. That time I have to reload! I think that is, in truth, really our best source of damage. Not sure where that was coming from, okay. Throw this in, I'm assuming we have it, basically. As long as we have a little bit of time in between when we choose to attack, I'm assuming we'll have it up. Now, Theseus is, or rather, Asterius is relatively low here. Come on, Asterius. Any day now. Oh, he still hit us. Not as low as I thought he was, okay. Not quite as low, can't get that greedy. Come on, Asterius. Go down. There we go. Okay. Things should get much simpler now. Okay, except don't walk straight into that. Okay, so now we just do this and wail on Theseus when he has his back turned to us. Which is not now. Or now. I really want you to, yeah, try throwing your spear at us. Then, follow up. If you get too close, he's going to try to use his melee attack. And he doesn't necessarily turn his back to us after that. Okay, so there we go. Your phase now. Well, that was... I meant to use the manual reload. Not that. Okay. This going again? Run away. On. Ooh, okay. A little bit trapped in the corner there. I was hoping those casts would still hit you. I think we might even be better served with our attacks than a cast. Just blocking that. That did still hit you? That was close though. Okay. That's gonna get blocked. Sure. Okay. 3. Okay, try not to get hit by that. for this. Okay. Getting low, but still, even with the backstab damage, as you're seeing there, damage still not that much. I find this. Don't get hit by the god or goddess abilities. I think that's Artemis, but there we go. Did take them out. Did not need to use Death Defiance. Fortunately, we are very low on HP though, so it was close.
Shut it for a bit.
What'd you think? Our one shade supporter.
Hope you enjoyed the show.
Okay. We'll restore a little bit of life here.
So withstood the finest of Elysium.
And we still don't have 200 obols, so if we do get Kiss of Styx from the well, then we would not even be able to afford it. I think we'd throw on the Broken Spear Point in hopes of giving ourselves the best chance of pulling this one off here. If it does show up, and it does, of course it does, then that means that's certainly a bad time to be short of coin. We very well may want to sell something here. It would be perfect if selling this were enough for us to get up high enough to be at the 200 coin threshold to purchase Kiss of Styx. It's not. I think it is worth it for us to get rid of Heartbreak Flourish for it. It is a strong special, but we are focusing primarily on our attack and our cast, and our call, kind of, sort of. So, let's do that. Now we can afford this.
Should be useful.
And now, I mean, suddenly we're back up at 2 Death Defiances, and as long as we don't have to spend any more in the Temple of Styx, then that is doable. I still think that we are very much lacking on the offense, and I mean, I think it is largely because I've not been using the call nearly as much as we should, and I said it before, I've said it many times before, but it is very much not natural to me to be using the call as often as this setup would suggest that we ought to.
Lots on offer here.
Okay, let's take a look at our options here. Could swap one hammer upgrade for 2 others. I do think our hammer upgrades are some of the best things we have going on right now, though. Zeus would probably be a pretty high priority. Aphrodite, maybe. I don't think bombs are great for us, though, because we don't have great booms, or at least not ones that get much more powerful when we upgrade them. Maybe our call, but a lot of it has come from the hammer. Talking about maybe trying to get Dionysus to show up in order to benefit from the hangover on the attack. Of course, we didn't throw on the Dionysus keepsake because we are throwing on the bossing stuff instead. Some decent options here as well. Of course, my eye is immediately drawn to Athena because she does have one more boon that could bring us back 1 Death Defiance, so that's high on the list. Zeus also is something that we could get some synergies with. I think we don't yet have the Jolt, even though we do have a few sources of lightning damage now between our cast and our call, and we do have our lightning bolt effects having a chance to trigger twice, so that would be fantastic if we could get that to happen. That might be our best offensive option. But before we do that, let's check out this fishing spot here and see what we can get. Come on. Come on, fishies. Come on, fishies. Not that one. This is a long one. There we go. Ooh, a stonewall. Very nice. Okay. So we cannot quite afford any of the big ones here yet, and I think, once again, we would ideally like to have at least 200 obols lying around whenever we can. So I would like to avoid the mini-boss rooms because they, of course, have a chance of having the strongest enemy at the end of them. So it would be good to get obols early, but I think let's start off with either Xena. We're hoping for Death Defiance, yes. I guess it doesn't really matter if we're getting Death Defiance last minute or early on, as long as it's there. So, and we could also reroll, we could reroll Palm. I think we definitely do want to do that. Let's try it.
My fate is mine.
Poseidon's probably not a very high priority either, so that's definitely lowest on our list. These two are at the top.
Here goes.
See what we get. Start to get out before you can get the chance to actually hit us. That would be great. Okay. Not so bad. So we're just hoping to get enough obols that we reach the 200 obol threshold pretty quickly. Okay, the little rats are fine. We can take them out pretty easily with our attack. Given how we have a lot of area of effect. Wrong place to dash. But these guys, anyone who has a decent amount of HP is much harder for us to take down. Satyrs are always going to be a challenge. he says, as we run into Saders. But having the dash ability does help. He'd technically still hit us, though. We can deflect those projectiles back at them, if we time it well enough. There we go. Okay. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Okay, this is the last room here. No Satyr sack. There are Satyrs. That's not a good combo. Okay, have poisoned us. We did deflect that one back at you. And that means you are down. Oh, and that one I did not really see coming, even though I did know there was a Satyr there. Probably should have seen it coming for that reason. Deflected that one back in your face as well, and you also got us. Everyone is poisoning us. More Satyrs! Go away! Did poison you as well. Okay, you're down. There are still more. Specifically, more Satyrs. Did you hit us with that? No, you did not hit us. With any poison, fortunately. Like snipes you specifically. Get it that time? Nope. That was someone else. Okay. Oh, out of bloodstones. I'd like to get the rat that has precisely 1 HP remaining. Okay. That was the last one. We did take a reasonable amount of damage there. It was not great. Our lack of damage is still showing. Ooh, okay, so we can have our special. Yes, we did, of course, sell one in order to be able to afford that Death Defiance, but I still think that's maybe not a high priority here, or at least not the highest. The Jolt is what I was saying could be very good, or your Lightning Bolt effects deal damage in a larger area. We do have a lot of Lightning Bolt effects, but I think it's less so the area and more so just the upfront damage that we're concerned about here. Let's go for the Jolt. Anything else in here that we've not yet gotten? I don't think so. So let's head back. And we are over 200 obols now. So that is good. But I think we still want to wait at least one more room before we pick up this boon, because we want to be at 350 in total before we buy this, because that way, once we buy this, we'll still be at 200 obols. If we run into a Kiss of Sticks immediately, we'll still be able to buy it. Does mean that we'll be going a little bit longer without an additional boon, but I think we'll take it. And now, going for Athena, the hope here is that we pick up the Death Defiance returning boon. We already do have one of them. Not sure if we're going to be able to avoid big damage there. Golden Urns as well, those certainly help. Already almost at 350, so that's good. Okay, Satyr's gotta go. That's the problem. Other guys, not too much of a concern. Yes, we did get him. Come on. There we go. Okay, and there is a well. It does not have Kiss of Sticks. It does have a Centaur Soul. It is expensive, but I think it might be worthwhile. It does give us additional maximum life, but not life restoration to go along with it. But we are so low on life that I think we could certainly use that. And once we do ultimately get to the Satyr Sack, we will restore some of our HP then. I think we go for that. And then nothing else there was life restoration, right? Special damage and attack damage. The attack damage could be good if we were confident that we were about to pick up the Satyr Sack right now and go into the boss and be sure that we would still have this active for the final boss. That may not actually be the case. I'm a little bit reluctant to commit to that because we did, of course, just spend 100 obols on the max life upgrade. And so if we were to do this, then we would be still above 200 obols, yes, but that would mean that it'd be difficult for us to be able to afford both the Kiss of Sticks that we are hoping that we pick up from a future well, and also the, what is it, Zeus Spoon, I think, in the shop. So I think we do have to pass on that one, unfortunately.
Don't do that.
Okay, this looks like the final room for a second there. But it is not. It is just a slightly larger, small room. Bit of an oxymoron, yes, but okay. Little bit of obols from that, but not a lot. This probably will be the last room here. Will it be the Satyr Sack? Will it not? Oh no, it's not the final room. Okay. So that question remains in that case. Okay. Now we pose that question. Do we want it to be the Satyr Sack? We may not, to tell you the truth. It is.
Found it already.
The reason why we may not have wanted it would be because that would mean that we'd have additional rooms we could go down and gain more obols, but if we're getting it now, then we probably do more or less need to go to the boss fight immediately after this, and we will not have enough obols to, well, I suppose we could still buy something from the shop. We would not be going through additional rooms to get the additional Kiss of Sticks unless we felt like it was worth taking that risk. Let's see what we get.
Just the foul sound.
Of course, we really want a Death Defiance back from Athena here. If we do get that, then we're at 3 Death Defiances out of 3 Death Defiances.
Olympus, I accept
In which case we don't need Kiss of Sticks. We don't get it. We can have the Athena special. We can have it so that abilities that deflect also make foes exposed. That means they take additional backstab damage. We do already have some additional backstab damage, and we do have deflect on our dash, and we have a bunch of dashes. So I do like all the synergies here. It is somewhat similar to this. This would require that the actual projectiles and attacks that we're deflecting are the ones that are hitting people, and it would be a higher percentage increase, but this is more influencing our personal attacks. So I think this is a little bit more reliable. This is a little bit more gimmicky. Even if the number is higher, I think we probably do still go with Blinding Flash here. It's not what we were looking for, but it is still okay. We get some life restored there. We could get this Zeus Spoon here, and also the Nectar, and then head in. Or, if we felt confident that we weren't going to take too much damage, we could go down an additional room and hope that we pick up another well with another Kiss of Sticks to get back our last Death Defiance. I wouldn't say it's strictly necessary. We could still pull this off with only 2 Death Defiances remaining. Problem is, that would normally be with a functional, decent build, but this one's pretty weird. So we might need to have everything working in our favor to pull it off. So the thing is, we won't have healing at the end of this one, unlike we had in the previous room. So there is that risk that any damage we take, we'll be carrying that into the final fight. I don't think the Poseidon boon itself is going to help us too much. This would be the safest option, of course, but we could go for max life, but that would mean there is definitely a mini-boss here. We could go for the obols. That means there's definitely a mini-boss here. Let's give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. It is definitely a risk. And so we very much want to minimize the damage we take here. You're also a Cedar? Poison you, which is helpful. There we go. Okay. That was big. Making sure that we didn't take a boatload of damage from the Satyrs. The primary thing is the obols, and we're hoping for wells. Wells. Too many Satyrs! Too many Satyrs! Okay, fortunately, the traps did us a favor there. I think we avoided taking damage from that. Okay, more obols from the golden urns. That helps too. More Satyrs! Always more Satyrs! None of that. Okay. Avoided taking damage there as well, and some more golden urns. That's useful. We're getting close to the end of the line here. In fact, is this it? I think this is it. Okay. This is a tricky room, I think. There are Satyrs. There are... Oh, hold on. Hold on. We need the cure. Where's the cure? Where's the cure? It is over here. Thank you. That is also a source of poison that I've walked directly into. Too much poison here. Okay, so this already looks like it probably backfired on us. Get rid of the Satyr. Okay, Satyr down. Think it's just this guy now. Could be pretty manageable. Remember, that can create poison, so we want to keep our distance from that. Do some of this, yes. And some of that. Well, that's not really doing much for us. Any day now. There's still more! And there's Satyrs. Okay, come on. Oh, I'm stuck. And I'm poisoned. And I got poisoned again by the Satyr. Satyr, go down, please. Okay, just you. Don't tell me there's another way. Okay, no, there's you. Hold on. Try not to get hit by the traps if we don't have to is the thing that I'm trying to avoid, or that poison there. You're successfully pinning us in corners. Come on. There we go. So, surprisingly, it felt like we took a ton of damage. We did take some for sure, but it's not as much as I expected. I suppose we can give some to Poseidon here, because why not?
Uncle Poseidon, this here is for you. Would that my father were as easygoing as yourself.
Ah, a show of generosity from my most favorite nephew. Your gift is mightily appreciated. I'll just go ahead and add it to the pile.
Okay. As for the boon, I honestly don't even know what we'd be looking for here.
Why, nephew, you procured the rod of fishing, I detect. Fine handiwork, if I say so myself. This line is nigh invisible, and
Is it actually invisible? It might be.
my domain to flock to it like mortals to temples of mine. Good fortune with that thing.
Thanks. Okay, we could get a random assortment of darkness, opals, and life restoration. That might actually not be a bad idea. Otherwise, initial damage right at the beginning, first 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a reasonable amount of time. In the special, yes, but I think, like we've said, we just don't have enough going on for the special. This is the straightforward option. This one, I don't think it's that good against bosses, because 10 seconds is just so little when you're talking about encounters that last a long time, like boss encounters. So I think we stick with Sunken Treasure here. And at the very least, that does help make up for much of the damage that we took there. Don't know exactly how much life we had when we started going down this route, but it was probably pretty close to what we have right now. And we did certainly pick up opals. So if nothing else, we did make it so that we can afford more at the shop. Even if we didn't get much real game changers directly. Oh, we did also, didn't we get the Centaur Soul for max life? Was that from this room? In which case, we did benefit from that. That might have been the previous room, though. So, that means we could do a lot more here. And, I mean, we of course have not yet gotten the well that we were really hoping for, another Kiss of Styx. If we were to go down additional rooms, then we are absolutely going to get some mini-boss, and I feel like we probably don't want to risk that when we have the build that we currently have. I mean, you saw with just a normal room how difficult that was. So, I think we probably stick with what we have right now and just spend our opals. How best to do that? We could go with both Aphrodite and Zeus. I'm thinking that might be the answer. If we were to go that route, then I think we'd need to skip on the palms. Let's go for it. Is there any reason to do one before the other? I'm not sure. Let's go for Zeus here.
Your Charon there must drive quite a hard bargain, Zagreus, if it would keep you from your victory just for a bit of coin.
That's true. Charon, come on, just give us everything. So I think we saw this previously, and we were thinking that it could be a decent option for us, because if we are using our call as frequently as we can use our call, then that means we could have additional damage up a lot of the time. Let's go for it.
Electric.
Unfortunate that everything there was just normal rarity, but here we have Aphrodite. We could get her special back. I think that might have even been the special we had before. Or make it so that we have Revenge weak. That's not bad, because that does mean that when enemies attack us, they are going to become weak, assuming they're nearby, which is probably going to be the case. So this is another pretty reliable source of reducing the amount of damage that enemies will deal to us. Or we could make it so that our weak effects last longer. It's on our attack right now, isn't it? Yeah, that's our primary source of weak. So I think we do this because we can use attack all the time, except when we're reloading. That's a brief period, but I think that the duration on weak is not really an issue right now. Let's stick with Wave of Despair, I think. It's a very minor source of damage as well, whereas this is not. It's not going to be a game changer, but it's a small boost. And so I think with that, we head on in, because like I said, the remaining rooms, they have mini-bosses behind them, and that means that we are likely to take a fair bit of damage from them, and we don't have any guaranteed ways to restore that life back. So I think this is as good as it's going to get, which is not very good, but we'll give it a try.
I can go.
Okay, so what are we going to need to do for this fight here? We are going to want to try to do everything we can to hit Hades from behind for backstab damage. That is our best source of damage, and that in combination with using our dashes to deflect everything, and also calling all the time. I think we've been doing some of those things okay. thus far, but the calls we could definitely do more of. And I think the additional dashes are going to be particularly big here.
So, boy, did you ask her about how she came to join me in the underworld? Did you confirm all your suspicions then?
Sort of. Whole absconded thing.
You didn't drag her down to hell yourself, apparently. You're not going to tell me who did, though I can well imagine. Your brothers got to reign forever on Olympus while you got sent down into the underworld. So they gave you a consolation prize, didn't they?
Is that how it worked out?
You make such accusations knowing next to nothing. Careless as ever. Poseidon had nothing to do with it. He knows even less than you.
But Zeus?
If you value her existence or your own, it would be wise to keep it that way. And to turn back.
Alright, well, I mean, you obviously just called out Poseidon, yes, but there's a clear omission. You did not name Zeus specifically. Okay. Here goes nothing. It's gonna be a tough one. No question. We'll see what we can do. Try to deflect any and everything that we can.
Not yet.
I think there are plenty of times in which we can make a point of hitting him from behind as well. Should be helpful. And I'll tell you what, we are dealing more damage than I thought we would be dealing right now. That's a good sign. Whenever you come back, I'm gonna dash out of the way of that, and then do this.
You dare attempt to vanquish me again?
Who do you get? Your hands. That's not great. They can, of course, lock us in place. Which is, problematic, to say the least. Okay, oh, spinny move. Okay, hand down. Reload. See you coming. Let me get this back. Get that back at you. Ooh, you hit me there. Give you that. But I will also do this. Should have tried to hit you from behind there. Like this. That's really where the damage is coming from. Didn't get you from behind on that occasion. Unfortunate. See that coming. Let's dash out of that. I mean, we can try deflecting those back in his face, though I don't think that works terribly well, generally speaking. More of the hands. As I said, I think that is probably not one of the people we particularly want him to be getting. Ooh, I just paid zero attention to where he came back. And there's some of these guys blowing up as well. Ooh, didn't see that one either. Remember, we get the additional damage for a short period of time after we use our dash, or not our dash, our call as well. Ooh, yep, that one. I dashed in the wrong place to begin with. Hit you with this? Yeah, a little bit. Trying to get both of you at the same time here. Little bit on that as well. You got a lot of the skulls hanging out over here. So be prepared for a lot of these dashes. Did ultimately get hit by one, but I think ultimately, how many of them there were, that's, we'll take that. There we go. Phase 1. No Death Defiance is needed. That's a good sign. Let's not stand right next to you for this. We're gonna do that. But then we're gonna hit you with backstab. And let's try getting rid of some of these in advance if we can. Okay, but that's not the way to do that, though. We actually don't have enough range there. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, now you're good. Whoa, that was not fun on that occasion. I can tell you that much. And that was me searching for the call button, looking down at the keyboard, and getting hit twice in the process. That's what was happening there, in case you were wondering why we just got walloped for a minute. Okay. Don't like all these. Oh, and I walked into that at the last second. That's also not great. Come on. Laser beams, laser beams. Just manually reload at this point in time. That'd be a good opportunity to do that. More laser beams? Yes. We should try getting rid of that. Did we? We did not. Where are you going? You laser beaming again? You love the laser beam. Somehow, used one dash to get out of that. That was lucky. I thought you were laser beaming again for a second. I was like, do you ever stop? Now you are. Oh, we're out of blood zones as well, apparently. Get rid of some of these. We can. Preferably. He doesn't get hit by them, does he? Or he doesn't take damage from them? Doubt he does. Okay, that's not really where we're understanding for this. Looks like you were going to be doing the laser beams, then you phased or something like that, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Oh, I wanted to dash, but apparently we were out of them. That. Yeah, the lack of range on the attack is actually kind of surprising. Ooh, that still hit us. That's not good. Laser beams again? Yes. Spinny laser beams. Don't get phased by that. That did still hit him. A little bit generous. Should be trying to do a little bit more of that, but it does require that we get close. That's not really what we want to be doing. When we do have the range advantage on him, of course. Okay, we'll step back a little bit because I see these guys are about to explode on us. I don't like where these are right now. Want some of you back. Don't get by that. Bad timing. Fortunately, we had the charm on him at that point in time, so we actually took less damage from him, but one full power hit and we will go down. Or actually, we won't quite go down. We'll have one life remaining. You see we're standing right next to a skull. Okay, more laser beams. I thought we had the angle on him. We did not have the angle on him. Big hit will take us down. He's low-ish, dare I say. Oh, we had it. Avoided getting hit there at least. Okay. Don't want to get pinned in the corner. That's going to explode. As will that. That will hit us. Low. The one big hit will get us. We lost sight of him. That was dangerous. He laser beaming. We got him. Oh, with 7 life left. Somehow, some way.
Superior to me. You are a fool.
Whew. My heart was pounding.
Cannot remain.
All right, don't ask me how.
Someone very sore right now.
So, I will be the first to admit, we did not use this duo boon the way that you are supposed to use this duo boon. And so I fully recognize that, but somehow, even despite that, we found a way to make that happen with what seemed like horrendous damage there. But I am just glad that we somehow found a way to make it happen. So we will take our Titan Blood,
Shuddered at the touch of it.
and we will head back on up to Greece.
Just up ahead. The sun.
Let's find Mom.
Zagreus.
But first,
Me.
we'll just double check for fish. No, it doesn't look like any. Okay. Hey, Mom. What's up?
Zagreus. It's wonderful to see you, but I need to ask something of you. That you not visit me again here in this place.
What?
Both for your safety and for mine.
What do you mean?
For what? Because of what would happen if the Olympians found out? So after everything, you're taking Father's side in all of this?
How dare you?
I am. The father is no fool when it comes to matters such as this. Besides, all that has happened, it's my fault.
So you're punishing us?
Selfish. And now both sides of our family threaten to be torn apart.
This still doesn't seem like the solution.
Your fault. So let's say you never left Olympus. Then it'd be just like you thought until quite recently, I think, that I'd never existed. Besides, they haven't found out any of this. What makes you so sure they will all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Nyx may be veiling you from them as she veiled me when I fled here myself. But even her own powers aren't infallible. Each time you visit me, you are incurring risk. One small slip, and they shall find me. Discover your deception. Go home, Zagreus. Please.
That hurts.
Go home with me, Mother.
Yeah.
You came here under false pretenses. I haven't fought all this way over and over again only to turn back now. I need you in my life. How can you just turn me away like this?
That seems like the obvious answer is to just have you come back down into the underworld, but you absolutely refuse to do that for some reason.
Oh, Zagreus. I cannot return. After all that happened between Hades and me, and everyone, I just cannot fathom the idea. Besides, the risks we're taking would be even greater if Olympus were to find me there with him and you.
Would they, though? I mean, we're already talking about starting a war between gods and goddesses. I don't see how you being in the underworld makes that any more of an extreme risk.
Then you're just going to stay here, alone in the middle of nowhere, in this little garden, forever, after we part ways, just like that.
Yeah, it really just feels like you are avoiding the problem, not trying to solve it.
My son, I know you've made hard choices and sacrifices to be here with me. And I'm forever grateful to have finally met you. This is my home now, yes. While your home is below. Please, if not for your sake, then for mine, do not return. I love you, Zagreus. Goodbye.
That hurts.
Mother, blast.
Goodbye.
She can't do this to me.
But you know what that means. Only one thing we can do. Wouldn't be a rebellious prince of the underworld if we didn't go against what our parents told us they wanted us to do. So we're totally going back up there. Doesn't matter what Mom says.
Hey, wow, you did it! According to my list here, it says you've died, 50 times at least? That's more than anybody's died around here, I think.
Apparently.
I'm sure you can catch up.
He's finally returned.
After we beat you up, yeah.
How are you finding my old trusty spear, then? Hmm? Or perhaps you have a preference for my brother's and my sister's former arms. Kept under lock and key, and yet they're now in your possession, it would seem.
Yeah, maybe.
The weapons in the courtyard. Of course you know about them by now. I stole them. Why not just take them from me? I'd be stuck.
It is true. I mean, Zagreus, maybe we should not be suggesting this to Hades?
The thought has long since crossed my mind. However, I'm not fool enough to tamper with those cursed things. They go where they please. They cannot be contained, like you.
Oh,
why don't
fair
you
enough.
entertain each other more?
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll just do it by taking you out.
Only the very best treats for my best friend, right, boy?
Exactly.
Cerberus yelps in merriment upon receiving such a generous offering.
Oh, good boy.
One of the frightful maws of Cerberus busily grooms the other two.
And we'll give him a pet.
You want more pets? I got more pets here, boy.
Alright. Let's head on out and see...
Over here.
Seems as though they have something particularly important to speak to us about.
As you may know,
What's up,
I
Achilles?
have a connection to the weapons that you use, having once wielded one of them myself. Of course, not knowing its significance back then, but I digress. Sometimes it, well, it keeps in touch, and I've a vision from it to impart.
Oh? Go on.
Oh, do you mean a vision from Varatha, the Eternal Spear? That's out of the ordinary, and also a bit concerning. So what did you see?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do
I saw
tell.
a great bearded warrior, bigger than me, pitch black hair, bearing an aspect of Varatha unlike any with which I'm familiar. Then he was gone, but what still lingered were these words. I see you through the eyes of the Crimson Phoenix.
Okay.
I see you through the eyes of the Crimson Phoenix. I don't understand. What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but it
There's
sounds
one
like we
more
might be
thing.
about to find out.
This was not my first such vision. Long ago, I saw one of Varatha's other bearers. It was you. Your infernal arms. They must be weapons of the Fates' design. They know already who shall brandish them. Now they ask a favor. Seek Varatha. Speak the words. Go.
Ooh, okay.
I see you through the eyes of the Crimson Phoenix.
Interesting. Okay. Any sign of other friends here? Certainly, at least House Contractor. We have now started to accumulate far more diamonds. We could upgrade our Dark Thirst. I thought we were saving for something bigger, though. One of these 4 diamond specials, like... just this year? Awards gems after vanquishing underworld bosses? I thought there was something else we had in mind. Like the Super Darkness giving us max life, or the Super Keys giving us another reroll. I think either of those could be great. After the previous run where we were, at least for a while there, struggling to find max life upgrades, I think this could be a good pickup.
On my authority, I'd like
Both
it
of them
if
will
you
be,
did
for
this
sure.
job for me. Is that all right?
Okay, now we definitely can't afford any of those diamond upgrades here. What about you,
Orpheus, I saw Eurydice again. I couldn't bring myself to do exactly as you asked. I sort of mentioned you.
May or may not have.
You what? Oh, what I meant to say was... Oh, did you perchance get the impression she had harbours toward me feelings of resentment and the like?
Maybe.
You seem to be a bit of a sore subject, yes. What happened to the two of you, if I may ask?
Well, you know, like trying to rescue her from the underworld and made a deal that you wouldn't look back at her, and if you did, then she'd go back and the two of you be trapped here for all of eternity, and you did that right at the very end of the trip? Something like that?
Oh, it's just... I almost saved her soul from this domain back when I lived and breathed. But in the final moments of my rescue, my faith faltered. She is lost to me forever now. Though I'm pleased to hear she isn't lost to you.
I suppose?
I'll have to get to the bottom of this later.
That is one way to look at it, yes. Anyone over here in the lounge? Do so. Let's give her a nectar before she runs off at the end of this conversation.
You must work harder than anyone in this house, keeping everything so neat and orderly. I don't think it should be thankless work, so thank you. And I'd like for you to have this.
Oh, Prince, wow, thank you. Thanks so much. You've been so generous. I think I'm speechless. No, can't think of anything to say right now.
Oh.
Oh, you said it all. Don't mean to put you on the spot or anything. I'm just glad we've had a chance to get to know each other.
That's all.
I'm glad we've had a chance to know each other too. Thanks for the nectar. I can tell it's really, really good. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was expecting for us to have a normal conversation immediately afterward, and that would be immediately awkward, the whole, okay, bye, oh, wait, we're walking in the same direction. Okay, hey, how's it going again?
Look at what I caught, Chef.
Couple things turn into the chef. A little bit more
Use them
nectar.
wisely, my friend.
And some gems. Any big deals here?
What's new?
Ooh, and we are a little bit of nectar short in order to get an ambrosia. That might have been a decent trade. Looks like it would have been, yeah. We had enough, but of course we just spent a bunch of nectar on that previous run there, but so be it.
Zagreus?
Oh, Nyx? You have something else
What
to
is
tell
the
us?
matter, child? I sense your distress, not the specific cause.
Well, you know, the whole continued struggle between our father and mother and the impending war between the gods and goddesses on Olympus and the underworld. Something like that.
Mother doesn't want to see me again. I mean, she asked me not to return. Thinks the risk is too great.
Yeah, that too.
Oh. That is a fair enough assessment. What shall you do?
Nyx? You taking her side too?
I'm going back.
Exactly. Only one thing we can do.
Good.
Oh, that's great. That's a great touch, Nyx. At first, it looked like, oh, she was gonna side with Persephone and be all, well, you know, that is true. You are putting both of you at great risk, and maybe even everyone down here in the underworld and Olympus could start a whole war. Then again, go out and do it, Zagreus. You know what you gotta do.
Pleasure doing business with you, Fates.
And we have now completed. It looks like the prophecy for getting all of Zeus's boons gives us 150 gems.
Uncle Zeus sure has been generous.
So that's great. That means we have a ton of those. We are still
The Mirror of Night.
a lot of darkness away from getting another reroll there, but we did get one of those recently. And then there was something we were supposed to say to Baratha? Hold on.
Martha, I see you through the eyes of the Crimson Phoenix. A new aspect. Who's Guan Yu?
Ah, okay. So we unlock what was previously a hidden aspect over here, the aspect of Guan Yu. You have the Frost Fair Blade, but your max HP and HP restoration are reduced. Max life and healing minus 70%? What? But Frost Fair Blade gives us an alternative moveset: heavy attack, explosive, special, and life-stealing spin attack. Okay, I mean, we gotta purchase it, right? We've got to.
Grant me the aspect of Guan Yu.
Let's see.
Wow, what in the world is that?
So, this is our strike. It is seemingly slower. Oh, but if we charge it up, what would normally be the spin move is instead a spinning projectile of sorts, kind of, sort of. Then we have a special. It's a little bit different.
More of a slicing field there rather than a stabbing.
Huh. And then we can also have a dash strike. Looks cool. But it means we are down to 30 HP. Okay. Skelly, did you have anything to say about that?
You know, pal, when you're not around and it's just me and all your weapons, I mean your infernal...
Ah, we've heard you talk about this
Can't blame you,
before,
mate.
Skelly.
Oh, I didn't
This
mean
is
it.
nothing new.
Sure.
Alright, well, this seems like a very challenging weapon to use, what with us having such low HP here, but an interesting one no less. So, seems like, I mean, we gotta give this a try, right? So, certainly gives us a plan for our next run. Not sure how we're gonna build a run around this weapon, but we'll find a way to make it work.
My choice is made.
So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed that previous run there. A difficult one that I honestly thought we had no chance of succeeding on, and we did find a way to make it happen. Again, Athena coming to bail us out. Next time, we'll use the new Guan Yu aspect, and we'll see how that one works out. I'm excited to give it a shot, so I'll catch you then.